So today we're rebuilding the Marlins. A team for quite some time has just been pretty mediocre. But this year, I mean, where did this come from? I don't think a lot of people had on their bingo card that they would be atop the wild card standing, second in the East, and well above 500, especially for a team that's just like, when you look at it on paper, it doesn't look that good. Like, don't get me wrong, the starting pitching looks really solid, but the offense, I feel like is like kind of weird. But that's besides the point. The team's doing really well. The last time they were over 500 to finish a season was the COVID year, but before that, it was 2009. So we need to turn this around. Let's go win the World Series. So quickly, we're going to talk about the team. We'll just kind of fly through it. So in right field, De La Cruz, I think is solid. It's like, if he does well, we'll keep him, but we'll see what happens. Soler, just home runs. That's what I'm looking for with him. Jazz, if you can keep him healthy, could be something out there in center. I know the whole position change. There's going to be some change, like some bad plays. You're going to see some good plays, but we'll see how he does in center field. And Jesus Sanchez, I think there's a player there. You just got to be consistent with the bat. Third base with Wendell and Segura. Yeah. Shortstop, kind of the same thing. I know there's some question marks there. Definitely need to figure that spot out. Arraez might be the best contact hitter in baseball. It's crazy the numbers that he's putting up this season. And at first base, you know, you've got Yuli and Garrett Cooper, who I know Garrett Cooper's starting to put it together. Recently, I know he had some injuries at the beginning of the year, but we'll probably need a first baseman also. And then catchers, probably going to need a catcher. So like, just looking at it, maybe Arraez and then Jacob Berry for the future, maybe Groshans, maybe Amaya, but like we could probably use some offensive help. I feel like that's kind of the area that's going to hold us back in the rebuild. Puck's been fantastic in the bullpen. Overall, the Marlins pen has been decent. Like, they've been getting the job done for sure. Pretty solid. And then of course the starters, you've got Sandy. Trevor Rogers has been injured for a majority of the year, if not all the year. And then Braxton Garrett's been good. Luzardo's been good. Edward Cabrera was solid up until his injury. Sixto, if you can get him to pitch again, you know, well done, you know, physio team, you know, the medical staff, because that guy's arm is like a noodle. And then this guy right here, this guy is something special. We're going to get him involved in the rebuild. Let's just let him develop a little bit more. So yeah, the team is there. I feel like pitching solid. Let's boost up this offense, but let's get to the draft first. Today's video is sponsored by Factor. It's been on the channel for months now, and I really like them because I like that the food that they put out. Since it's now summer, some of you may just want to be outside enjoying the weather and not be stuck inside cooking, prepping, cleaning. Factor's fresh, never frozen meals are ready just in 2 minutes. So all you have to do is heat it up, enjoy, and then you can get back outside and soak up that warm weather. Factor offers delicious flavor-packed options on each week's menu, from chef choice to keto, calorie smart, protein plus, and also vegan and veggie. And on top of that, you can choose from 34 chef-prepared, dietitian-approved weekly options. And some of these are really, really good. The shredded chicken taco bowl, you've got the garlic and herb chicken breast. I really like that one as well. And also the jalapeno lime cheddar chicken. That's kind of one of my go-tos whenever it's on the menu. And the menu options change. They're not the same every single week, so be on the lookout for some different options. They also have different add-ons for breakfast, like pancakes and sausage and skillets, as well as some smoothies and some juices for you, and even a couple sweet treats for those of you with a sweet tooth. So if all those things sound great, meals delivered straight to your home, only a 2-minute cook time, no grocery store trips, no prepping, no crazy cook times, and it gives you more time to spend outside during the summer, head over to factor75.com or the link in the description below. Use code ANT50 for 50% off your first Factor box. Again, link in the description or factor75.com. Use code ANT50 for 50% off your first Factor box. But we're at the draft, and really quickly, I just want to talk about players that I was looking at really quickly. This guy was kind of on my radar. I just like the looks of his numbers. And then on top of that, I consider taking this guy. I know we have him at 11th, but the hitting stats look like they're going to be really good for a third baseman. So I was kind of in on that one. And then Workman looked pretty good in terms of a pitcher. And the only other one that I liked was Cano. I thought Herschel, he looks decent, but Cano was the one I was like, man, I think he's going to be really good. And unfortunately, he got taken. So really quickly, we could take Jim Kong, who they rank him as the third best one, but it looks like he's going to be quite a ways away. We've got Prince Pickett. I like the name, but at the same time, again, looks like he's going to be pretty far away. We've got Casilla, who could potentially help us out soon. Good strikeout and walks numbers, which I liked. We've got Segura. Again, looks decent. And then if I wanted to go a little bit farther back for more of an MLB ready guy, we could take Rico Ramirez, a catcher in Tony Story, who the hitting stats look like they aren't there yet, but they could be there. He just looks like a really good defensive player. And then Rich McGrath, who looks like he's a good versatile player. Don't have him scouted fully, which is a little worrisome. And then Kenny Walsh, if I wanted to take like a really MLB ready guy, which I feel like we're pretty strong on the pitching. I feel like taking an MLB ready guy wouldn't be the worst. And I really like those hitting numbers. So I might take the MLB ready guy with the lower potential. Sounds crazy. There's some really good pitchers available. I'm going to take the MLB ready guy, Kenny Walsh. The draft's over. We've got every player signed. And like I said, the first player that we did take, lower potential, but he's really close to being MLB ready. I think we've got our shortstop for the rebuild. Sucks defensively, but the hitting stats are definitely, did I say shortstop? Third baseman for the rebuild. Either way, we got Rich McGrath, who's 18, second baseman. Again, sucks defensively. 6'3". You're not a second baseman. You're not a second baseman. What are we gonna do with all these big boys? Maybe make the 6'4" a first baseman. Ah man, your arm sucks. We'll figure it out later when it matters, but he's got some good hitting stats. Gomez, 67 overall, strikes out everybody, but looks like he allows a lot of hits, which could be an issue. Lefty, 87 potential, 86 for Quiroz, 84 for Urban, 94 potential for Stuart Reaver. The only issue is he's 21 years old and he's 55 overall, and then 77 potential for Nate Thomas. But overall, really good draft, really happy with it. I think these first couple picks are going to be pretty solid for us. And so we sucked compared to what the Marlins are doing in real life, and it's kind of expected. So really quickly, let's take a look at the awards. Pete Alonso, MVP. McClanahan wins it on the other side, which means Cy Young for him. Spencer Strider wins it on the National League side. Harper and Diaz are the batting title winners. 30 home runs for Yandy Diaz? Really? Okay. Joe Mantiply and Brock Burke are the relievers of the year. Yoshida and Corbin Carroll, rookies of the year. All right, so we've got that down. Let's take a look and see how everything went here. So he ended up pitching 24 innings in the major leagues. Thing is, I didn't want to call him up because he was struggling in AAA, and so that's kind of why I was like, you know what? Let's hold off on Yuri, let him finish off the year in AAA, and then we'll call him up next year. But all right, he's got his time in the majors. Sixto, I think, is going to be a long reliever for us moving forward, and if he can put up those kind of like that kind of year, we're good. Next up, Bradley. Why? Who did they send down? Nardi? No. Who did they send down? It was Okert. Okert was pretty bad. Had a 5 ERA. Chargois had a 2 ERA, and they sent him down. Okay. Matt Barnes kind of struggled. We've got one more year of him. Probably going to move him in the offseason. Bender was solid. Puck was fantastic. And then Tanner Scott came up, pitched 1 inning, got the job done. And then we've got Dylan Floro, who was also very good. Would like to bring him back if we could. Alcantara was fantastic. Love to see it. Braxton Garrett, who's going down mostly, I would assume, because his potential's under 76, which is a little disappointing, but gave us a good season. Maybe we can squeak out 1 or 2 more from him. Luzardo struggled a little bit, and then Cabrera was pretty good. So I like to see that. What about Trevor Rogers? Struggled a little bit as well. So hopefully we can turn things around pitching-wise. Maybe. We'll have to see how that goes. Lineup-wise, it looks like De La Cruz was sent down. Okay, I mean, like, I kind of see why, but at the same time, like, meh, you know? Groshans is up to a 68. Amaya's up to a 67. Where is, don't we have like a catching prospect? He's in single A. Okay. And then the other prospect that we have is Jacob Berry. It's up to a 72. Okay, so we've got a couple different third base, second base options that we could turn to. But looking at our starting lineup, Segura, we've got 1 more year. Okay, let's see what else we've got going on with the squad. Nothing great. He needs to go. Avisail Garcia needs to go 100%. And Garrett Cooper was okay. Not as good as I was hoping. So that's kind of a disappointment. Arise only hit 280. Oh, man, what is going on with this team? Soler, was anybody good? Like, Jazz hit 33 home runs. What did Soler hit? 21? we're gonna have to figure something out here. Yuli hit 22. Jesus Sanchez had a pretty solid season. Like to see that. Birdie somehow had a good year. Wendell somehow had a good year, and then Stallings had a good on base percentage. So I guess I'll take it. But season was not great. We got to work on this team. We got to build them up. The Braves defeat the Yankees, and heading into the offseason, you can see Johnny Cueto retired. Okay, exclusive negotiations. The only two that I offered was Floro and Cooper. So we'll see if we get them back. But realistically, I don't really know what to do. We definitely need a shortstop for like this season. Like Birdie's cool and all, but realistically, that's not what I want. Segura, I guess, can stay. He's like, what, 9 mil? We can work with it. And what else? A right fielder, because I don't want Garcia. Shortstop, right field, and first base. Okay. I don't think we have anybody just yet that's ready. I mean, we do have De La Cruz who could come up and help us out a little bit. Probably play the platoon situation. Gotta trade Garcia. And then Groshans, Amaya's not ready. Jacob Berry, we need to call him up to at least AA. Same thing with our catcher. And I think pitching wise, we're looking pretty solid. Like I feel like we're looking pretty good in this little range that we've got going on. And then bullpen, let's just pick up a couple pieces and see what we can find. So I think we're okay. But I think our offense needs to be elevated a little bit. All right, I'm going to get rid of Matt Barnes and pick up Zach Thompson, open up a little bit more money to play with, and then Avisail Garcia. I don't know what I'm going to do with that. All right, Jimmy Garcia is getting picked up for Avisail Garcia. The Garcias are swapping, and expiring contract for another 2 years of 13 mil. I'm cool with that. Get him out of here. I wasn't planning on trading Gene Segura, but I got offered this trade by the White Sox, and I don't necessarily want this guy, but if they're willing to give me a prospect, why not, right? Get rid of that money. All right, so after the trade, this is what the team's currently looking like. We're still in free agency. I definitely need to pick up a shortstop this offseason. And then I'm noticing we're a little light just in terms of depth in case a player does do poorly. That's really what it comes down to. So, Floro, I can't pay more than 10 mil for him. He wants to sign with the Dodgers, and he wants like 12 mil from us to make that possible. And I don't want to spend 12 mil on a reliever right now, who probably will be good, but at the same time, like, are we gonna make the postseason? Possibly. I don't know. I really don't. I just don't feel confident with like this lineup, and I feel like we've got a couple prospects that are like right on the fringe of being MLB ready. So like I don't necessarily want to invest heavily in like certain players like Matt Chapman or like Erod and things like that, because I feel like we've got some players that I just want to put in the team and let them work their way into the lineup. So you know what, I'm gonna start just kind of getting like kind of bench bats, platoon bats, and seeing what we can do. But I think the big acquisition I'm going to be looking for this coming up season is a shortstop, and I have one in mind. So let's finish this off season. Let's see what other moves I can make, and then we'll get to season 2. Okay, so I just simmed the draft lottery. We got the number 1 pick. We went up 8 spots to get the number 1 pick. Oh yes. Okay, and then the Tigers took Zach Thompson from us, who we just traded for. So I'm gonna pick up reliever and see who is available. Ooh, Joe Barlow's available. I'm in. Yeah, B potential as well. Okay, so we just replaced one reliever with another. Season 2, I am gonna go and acquire Ezekiel Duran for Garrett Hampson, Xavier Edwards, and Daniel Castano. I totally forgot who I wanted to trade to make this deal possible, but we're gonna go for and even accept the trade. But you saw it. So let's talk about the moves that I made. I don't know what to do with Yuri. I feel like maybe we go like that. I do like Braxton Garrett, but with the C potential, it does limit him a little bit. So I feel like we kind of just need to go with what we have here. Sixto also at the like 6th man role. Sixto, the 6th man. I feel like with the name, the alliteration, it works nicely. Alcantara, Rogers, Luzardo, Cabrera, and Yuri is going to be our starting rotation. Bender, we've got Jimmy. We've got Barlow, Reynaldo Lopez, Blake Trinan, so a brand new bullpen, like completely revamped it, and then AJ Puck as well. So we're looking pretty good there. And then on top of that, this is what the offense looks like. We've got Cody Bellinger, Urshela's new, obviously Duran, who we just traded for, and then Mike Zunino on a 1-year deal, just because we do have Joe Mack, the prospect. I want to see how much he develops. And then our bench currently looks like this. And then, of course, versus lefties, we bring in a couple different guys to work with the platoons. AAA and stuff like that really quickly, just to kind of talk about the prospects. Like I said, Joe Mack. I moved Kenny Walsh to a first baseman, and that's why his overall went up. I just felt like we lack a younger first baseman. He fits that mold perfectly. He's 6'4". We're good there. I signed Vidal Brujan. I don't know if I'm going to use him. If anything, we can use him as a trade piece for the future, or he'll get picked up on waivers. We'll have to wait and see. And then we also do have Rich McGrath, who I don't know what to do with him. He can play the outfield. I don't think he should play the outfield. He could play first base. He is 18, so what is Walsh? He's 20, so maybe by the time he's a little bit older, we can move Watson to first base. We'll see what happens. Jacob Berry still at third. We've got Groshans, Amaya, and Burrows still at shortstop if we really need them. And then in the outfield, we could potentially use a prospect or two. And with that first round pick, we might be able to find one. So we have the number 1 pick. This is what we're looking at. We're looking at Luis Estrella, who looks really solid. Decent pitcher. We've got Walker Bonilla, another really solid pitcher. We have Cecil James, again, another really solid pitcher. Teddy Clark, who I think looks the best out of them all. I'm kind of intrigued by him. And then we've also got Zambrano, who's got crazy pitch velocity, which looks decent. Good home runs per 9 as well. And then Dan Lewis also. So there's a couple different ones that I'm interested in. The only one that didn't opt out is Walker Bonilla, which is interesting. We have him at number 2, and then also Luis Estrella didn't opt out also. So I could just go for the player who has the highest potential, which, yeah, but I kind of like the looks of what Teddy Clark has. I like the hits per 9 being high. The stamina looks good. Yes, the strikeouts, walks, control, home runs per 9 are a little bit lower, but I think he looks the best out of them all. So yes, he's ranked 4th. I'm gonna go Teddy Clark though. The deadline is not going well for us. Let's see how far we're out of the wild card. We are 12.5 out, which I didn't expect that. For the majority of the season though, our starters were all above 4 ERA. Some of them at a 6. So I'm thinking about sending Yuri down for the rest of the season, see how he develops, and then we'll figure out what's going on here. Sixto, yikes. And then I'm going to trade Blake Trinan just because he's doing fantastic, and we might as well cash in while we can. But yeah, some players just like really aren't cutting it, and that's kind of an issue. Like we've got De La Cruz who's doing poor, 207. We've got Duran with 195. Like players just aren't doing well, and I don't know why. Like I just don't understand why we're doing that poorly. You know what I mean? Like we're just like not getting just any sort of production at all from the pitchers or the hitters, which is a little disappointing considering last year, like we weren't great last year, but we were still 73 and 89, which I don't think we're on pace for right now. So I'm just going to see what we can go out and get. Like I said, I'm going to trade a couple players. I'm going to try to keep a majority of the guys that we have. Like I think probably should get rid of Ramirez, even though I gave him a 2-year deal. Did I give him I didn't give an option. I'm still going to try to trade him though. So Ramirez, let's see what our AAA team's looking like. Anybody popping off that like I should keep my eye on? Groshans, okay. But nobody else. Interesting. What about down here? Walsh is doing pretty well, which is good to see. Jacob Berry struggling a little bit, which is not what I wanted to see at all. Anybody else doing pretty well? Not really. I signed this guy because I saw I was in free agency. I thought beat potential. Let's see how he develops. But looking at it, we've got a couple other like just no one's really progressing, which is a little disappointing. Quickly, let's take a look at like AAA. He's doing pretty well, which is good to see. Myers struggling. Salinas. Okay. So yeah, we're definitely in the man. We're in some trouble here. Players just really aren't developing. Okay, so yeah, let's just go make some trades. All right, first trade is with the Orioles for Kierstead and Drew Rom. They want Braxton Garrett quite a bit, so I'm gonna make it happen. And let's see who else I can get, because right now team's just not looking good. I noticed with the Rangers, I didn't see that they had a generational talent, so there's that. Totally missed that when I was making a trade with them in the offseason, which actually, yeah, the player would have been there. So I'm trying to see like who else. Like, can I get Jack Leiter? Like, I don't necessarily need him, but I kind of want him. He looks bad. But for Blake Trinan, I need something, and I just feel like we're missing something. But at the same time, we've got a couple prospects, but at the same time, they're not developing. So maybe it's just let's just go out and get what we can get, because I'm thinking Kierstead's gonna play some outfield position, just because like De La Cruz ain't cutting it. And I feel like we need to shake some things up here. So I was kind of hoping Barry would have developed. I was kind of hoping like one of our shortstop at least would have been a little bit closer, but they're not there just yet. So I guess we do have Duran, who's struggling pretty mightily. But let's see, like even Bellinger's been really bad, man. Oh man, really the only guy I can trust right now is like Jazz, Arise, and like Urshela, which sounds crazy, but I should also cash in on him while I can. So, oh boy. I'm picking up Austin Wells from the Yankees for Blake Trinan and Nick Bennett. We'll see how that goes for us. Probably won't go well, but we'll see how it goes because, man, my moves so far aren't panning out too well. I'm going to pick up Michael Busch from the Dodgers. I feel like he's kind of the odd one out when they have Miguel Vargas. They've got Ketel Marte. They've got Gavin Lux, Ramon Urias, Miguel Rojas, and they're looking for a third baseman. So I'm going to send them Urshela and also my lowest rated player. And that's a new third baseman for us. We'll see how that works. All right, I'm going to trade Jimmy Garcia for Suarez and Silseth. And I still got a couple more moves. But to be honest, there's so many trades that have happened already that it's hard to keep up with where everybody is. I'm trying to find different moves to make, and it is tough. Like there's players all over the place. Like Ellie De La Cruz got traded. That was like a big one that I noticed. Keep Brian Hayes. I just saw he got traded. Who else? Who just really quickly that I can like kind of point out. Duran got traded, like Yohan Duran. We've got, I think they traded somebody. Renfro. Like it just seems like every team has made like 2 or 3 trades already, and it's crazy. All right, they'll trade Jose Miranda for Garrett Cooper straight up. He's having a really bad season. I'm gonna take it though. I feel like that's a good pickup for us. Here's the team. It doesn't look great. It doesn't. I'm really hoping we could turn it around for season 3. And then this is what we're looking like. A lot of lefties. I don't really like Michael Busch up that high. I guess we can try Sanchez there. We're going with a lot of youngsters, hoping that it pans out. I don't think it's going to, but we'll see what happens. We do also have a couple players down here. Kenny Walsh. Hopefully he puts something together come the end of the year. And also Barry Groshans. I need somebody. And then let's go see how our draft picks were. Here's a draft for us. Teddy Clark, 89 potential. We'll go and check and see if we have any sort of like missed opportunity. Like Bonilla, 94 potential. Yeah, makes sense. That was somebody that we looked at. Estrella, 93 potential. So we did miss out on a higher potential, like a Cecil James as well, who actually 69 overall is a lot better than I was anticipating, which is a little bit disappointing. But at the same time, I'm pretty happy with that. Yeah, I feel like I'm okay with that. Like, obviously, I don't really have a choice, but I like the hits per 9. I like the stamina. I like the control, the break. We've got 84 potential for Heinlein. We've got 85 for Liriano, 76 for Bravo, 75 for Rincon. Ferreira kind of sucks, and then Gonzalez is okay. But pitcher heavy just because I just, like, the only player that I, like, considered drafting, I didn't even look at Jason Cobb. But the one that I looked at position-wise was Mark Brister, and I just felt like with the contact numbers, that it was pretty obvious that his power numbers were the main pull about this guy, and I just felt like he wasn't worth picking up just because I don't think he's gonna hit. I did not have my eyes on him though, so we missed out on him, but I feel like we did an okay job. I guess I missed 2 outfielders, so there's that. So 79 and 83, I think the exact same as last year, right? No, actually better. So there's that. We can rock with that. We also have an award, Delivery Man of the Year. Awesome. So Matt Olson and Mike Trout, both MVP. CJ Cron also in the mix. Cease and Strider are your Cy Young winners. Dansby and Trout batting title. Montero and Puck relievers of the year. And then we've got Cannon Smith and Jigba. Ooh, really? And okay, rookie of the year. Okay. And then Jonathan Mejia. It took me a second to be like, oh, okay. Brother of Jackson, the Seahawks. He went to the Seahawks, right? Seahawks receiver. So there we go. Let's take a look here and see what we've got here. So they called up Patrick. He didn't pitch at all. Yuri, we know he struggled for sure. Bender, 20 innings, pretty solid, but he's going down in overall. So we might have to look to improve on that. The Rule 5 pickup of Barlow wasn't fantastic, but we'll see what he can do next year. He's still got the potential. I have faith. he also was improving. So there's that. Next up, Chargois didn't pitch at 4 innings. Okay, I'll take that. Suarez, I'm just hoping he could have improved this year and he can come in and be a lefty for us next season. Tanner Scott, we'll see what we do with him. And then Puck was fantastic, so love to see that. Starters, I need them to be good. We've got Sandy, we've got Rogers, both pretty solid seasons. Luzardo also turned it around. Like I said, everybody was like a 4+ at one point, so I need to see them just get better, right? Edward Cabrera, solid, not great. And then Sixto, no. Silseth got rocked. He pitched a little bit, but I'll keep my eyes on some of the prospects, but it doesn't look too great. They called up Ryan Burroughs for some reason, sent down Soler. Should have traded Soler, but whatever. I'm not gonna lose too much sleep over it. De La Cruz also got sent down, which is super disappointing. I was kind of hoping he would be a little bit under the radar for us, like one of those underrated players that would just kind of help us out whenever needed. Or just be like decent, like just be like close to an 800 OPS, close to like a 3 something average, maybe like a 270, 280, just like nothing too flashy, but just got the job done. And he's not doing that for us. Nick Fortes is doing the job as a backup catcher. John Birdie as like a platoon guy is doing fine, but realistically probably not going to bring him back. Ramirez turned it around a little bit towards the end of the year, and then Burroughs got called up but didn't have an appearance. So Arise, that's a better season I'm looking for. And Jesus Sanchez might be that guy. Like I was talking about De La Cruz, Sanchez might be that guy. Nothing too flashy, but just gets the job done. Miranda, I need him to do something because that's not looking great. Cody Bellinger was pretty bad. He is improving though, so hopefully we get a bounce back year next year. Jazz was really good. Zunino was actually very, very good. He's probably getting brought back. Michael Bush struggled. Duran definitely struggled. Kierstead was good though, so I think this is going to be a huge pickup. I felt like going to the Orioles for him with their cornucopia of prospects. I felt like that would be a pretty good pickup for us, and I felt like we're looking pretty good there. So looking at stats wise, I think Kenny Walsh is going to be our first baseman next year, and then we'll figure out like a DH move platoon situation around mess. I don't know. We'll figure something out. It just seems like we got to figure something out because it didn't work this year. So let's get to the off season. I think bullpen is a little bit of an area we need to improve on and just see what we can do with this offense, because I'd like to at least push for the postseason this year. Nobody retired from us, and I didn't even see who won the World Series, but I don't think it really mattered. So I'm gonna bring back Zunino for another season. We're gonna go $9 million. They can let Lopez go. Yeah, 7 ERA. Good Lord. What do the Mariners want? Robbie Ray? I'm going to decline that. I don't want Robbie Ray. I totally forgot Robbie Ray was on the Mariners because he was injured this year. Just one of those things where I'm like, oh yeah, that's a thing. That's a thing. Jacob Berry, Jacob Miller. Let's make sure we don't lose them. Ooh, we got some decisions to make. 37 on the 40 man. Oh yeah, I definitely got to make sure we get this right, because I can't sign a lot of players unless I get rid of a few. Okay, so John Birdie's gonna leave, so he'll be one that leaves, so that'll open up a 40 man spot. Ooh, this is gonna be tough. Yeah, pitching wise, I think we're okay. Like I want to give Yuri another shot. Sixto was bad. We'll put Sixto back in the bullpen. I feel like we need like someone that's like really, really lights out to kind of complement Puck in the setup role. Maybe one more really good bullpen arm. And then if we look at this, I'm thinking maybe like this, maybe Miranda comes off the bench. We get a really good third baseman, or we just let Jacob Berry play the spot. But at the same time, I feel like if we're going to try to win, we need to upgrade some positions. So maybe Miranda heads to the bench. Jacob Berry gets one more year in AAA. We bring in a really good third baseman. And then also a Zunino would hopefully be the catcher. And then Bellinger maybe to DH. And then we call up that first baseman to help us out. We'll figure something out, because Michael Bush also might just be a bench bat for us, which is, I'm okay with that. Like if we have some really good bench bats, also some really good platoon matchups, I think we'll be okay. So let's see how the offseason treats us. All right, season 3, and let's talk about this team, because I'm feeling pretty good now. We've got a pretty good rotation. We have, like Sandy, Arbitration for Rogers. We still got Luzardo. We've got Cabrera. We've got Yuri, right? Like, I feel good about that. Sixto, unsure about, but we'll see what happens there. And then if you look at the actual team here, yeah, I don't know about Joe Jimenez. I did kind of go out and sign like Lamet, Estevez. We've got Cody Whitley. I decided to bring in a couple different relievers, Luke Jackson, just to kind of have a little bit of depth in case some of ours don't do well. Suarez is on waivers right now, so I hope he doesn't get claimed. I could have gone with Suarez over like Jimenez, but that would have been too many lefties. And then I brought in Jorge Lopez as a setup guy for 2 years. And then this is the big one. Willy Adames was available in free agency for way too cheap. I had to pick him up. I was approaching arbitration and I was like, he's still available in free agency. I decided to pick him up. I just wasn't picking up any players at that point because my roster was full. So I released a couple minor leaguers, and then there we go. Willy Adames is here. So that means Duran's going to move to third, which, whatever. We'll make it work. He had third base as a secondary anyways, and this is going to be the team now. So it gave me a little bit more of a offensive punch. We've still got Bush, Miranda, Nick Fortes, we've got De La Cruz, we've got Harold Ramirez, and then of course, AAA still looking good with the prospects that we have. The prospects that we had just weren't ready yet, and I didn't want to force it. I feel like Walsh, though, he's got a good enough bat to make it work. So I think this is really solid. I really like the team that we have here, and maybe go like Zunino here, Walsh towards the bottom of the lineup. Maybe, hold on, can I get, you know what? I'm okay with this. Yeah, I like this. This is a good lineup. We've got some guys that mash lefties as well. I really like where the team's at. We're a postseason team as a wildcard team taking on the Braves, so not the best matchup, but we do have Alcantara, who was very good. Awards-wise, Pete Alonso, again, an MVP. You got Trout, of course. Yeah, I forgot to mention Soto went to the Braves, so the division's pretty tough right now. Tucker is not the MVP, it's Trout instead. Tristan McKenzie and Mike Soroka are the Cy Young winners. Dansby and Donovan with the Rays now. Okay, batting title winners. Michael King and Alexis Diaz. Wow, the Braves are good. What is this team? Hold on, wait a second. Hold on. Strider, Soroka, Wright, Anderson, Kyle Harrison from the Giants. What? Hold up, what? So Michael Harris, Vaughn Grissom, okay, Soto, Acuna, Olsen, Riley. That's gross, man. And they've got Jackson Merrill, Michael Garcia. What are these moves that they're making? That's insane. Awards wise, let's go back to it. Rookie of the year went to Julio Chavez and Brett Wisely. Kenny Walsh finished second. What is this name? Glider Figueroa? What a name. That's a power name right there. I like that name. All right, pitching wise, Sixto sucked. I called up Jacob Miller and not bad. All right, we'll keep an eye on him. He wasn't too bad at all. And then I sent down Jimenez because he wasn't doing great, but it looks like he turned things around come the end of the year. Barlow, though. Barlow was pretty bad. This pickup's not working out, so that's unfortunate. So Sixto, he had a 6 ERA, so it's good to see he brought it down to a 5. Lucas Sims was a pickup I did in the offseason on a 1-year deal. I don't know if I'll bring him back. If I can get him for like $5 million, sure, but we'll see. Lamet sucked. Suarez was good. Jimenez was solid. Lopez is regressing, which is unfortunate, but we do have 1 more year, so I think we'll be okay. And then Barlow sucked, but we know AJ Puck was good, so we'll probably remove Barlow for the postseason. But Alcantara was fantastic. Rogers, I need better, man. I think I've got 1 more year of arbitration, but I need him to be better. Luzardo was good. Cabrera, not great, and neither was Yuri. I'm trying to stick it out with these two, but I need them to be better. And then looking at the team here, Miranda kind of sucked. Duran kind of sucked. So those 2 moves just really aren't panning out for us just yet. I'm going to stick with the offense, though. I feel like we've got something cooking. Like, Harold Ramirez has been fantastic for us. If I can get 1 more year out of him, that'd be great. Jacob Berry, I think, is going to come up and help us out a little bit. And then if you take a look at our starting lineup, Arise, once again, getting on base, that's what I need. Adames, I think, is just going to be good enough to get the job done at shortstop. Jazz had a little bit of a down year. I need him to rebound next year. Bellinger had a good year. We've got 1 more year, I think, for $12 million. Ooh, he's not really improving, though. I might reject it and see if I can find someone else that can play DH, outfield position, first base for us. Like wait, hold on. They sent down. Oh no, we do have Kenny Walsh still, but I'm trying to see what else we could turn to. Like De La Cruz wasn't that good. He's been kind of a disappointment this rebuild. Groshans really isn't. Man, I don't know. I feel like we're just lacking something. Maybe just like go all out on like a crazy DH, like power, like a Pete Alonso. Ooh, that might be the move. Okay, so Zunino wasn't as good as he was last year, but still decent. You know, Jesus Sanchez is like I said, I think he's gonna be really underrated. Just getting the job done. And then Kenny Walsh, he'll get there. Is he capped? Is he not gonna improve anymore? Because if that's the case, that's gonna suck. And then Kierstead is fantastic. I think that's gonna be a good pickup for us as well. So I said I was gonna remove Barlow. Let's do that. So Barlow, let's send him down. And instead, I think I called up. Hold on, who did I call up? Miller. No, I had another reliever, but who did I call up? It wasn't. Am I missing something here? Oh, it was Lamet and Suarez. So Barlow was sent down, and let's just call up Miller instead. And then we'll send down Barlow just because Barlow's been so bad, and we'll rock with an extra long reliever. I don't think it's gonna really matter because I think we're gonna lose to the Braves anyways. So. Oh, we advance. Okay. All right. Maybe just move everybody up a spot. I did not expect to win. I'm not gonna lie, but we won. We are taking on the Dodgers though, which isn't ideal. Somehow still alive. I'm gonna need Sandy to really hold it down here, please. Okay. All right. Was not expecting this. So now I'm in a weird spot. Yeah. What is how are we doing this? We're against the Cubs now. We're 1-1, 2-1, 2-2, 3-2. Okay, so it comes down to Edward Cabrera. We do lose, but you know what? We made it to the NLCS. I did not expect that, and the Cubs make it to the World Series. But okay, Astros defeat the Cubs, but we're 2 games away from a World Series right there. Was not expecting that. So we got some fight in us. We got something going for us for sure. So I said I was going to decline this. I'm going to bring back Arise, of course. Why wouldn't I? Like, get him in the team. Pay him more than $6 million too. Give him like 7. Yeah, 7's good. Harold Ramirez, I said I wanted it back for at least 1 more year. I'll give him like 8 million. And let's see what else. Sims, let's try for 1 more year. He wants 5 again. I'll give him 6. I'll give him, you know what? I'll treat yourself. Go treat yourself. Jimenez wasn't great, but he is improving. So again, let's pick him up. I think I paid him like 4 million. I'm cool with that. I think I'm going to pass on Luke Jackson this year. I'm going to pass on Estevez, and then I'm going to pass on Lamet. So Cody Bellinger, I'm going to let walk. We'll see what we can find in the offseason. Let's see what we can pick up. So here, maybe Whitley, but like if I lose him, it's not the end of the world. And then free agency, Vlad's available. I think Pete Alonso was last year, maybe, but Vlad's available. You know, Vlad in Miami, that would be electric. I'm just saying, Vlad in Miami would be electric. Kyle Tucker, which, okay, hold on, let's figure this out. So, because what I could do is, like, we know Walsh is a terrible defender, right? So what we could do is DH Kierstead at first base, and we go Kyle Tucker. But the thing is, I don't really need more lefties. I kind of need to balance out the lineup a little bit. I think Vlad makes the most sense out of those players. Like Bichette, maybe. Will Smith, we do kind of need a catcher. The guys really aren't developing like I was planning on it. So could I afford 2 big boys in Will Smith and Vladdy? I think I might be able to. Like, looking at the rest of the options available, I think those make the most sense. Let's go big. Season 4, I'm liking the team here. Pitching's going to be the same. Bullpen's going to be basically the same. I am going to make a trade, though, to trade Barlow and Jimenez, pick up 2 better bullpen arms. And the lineup looks really good with Vlad and Will Smith added to it. So I feel like the lineup's going to slap. I feel like we're going to do pretty well. And now let's go get some relievers. Basically, I'm just going to go out and get like the best possible ones that I can get without giving up too much. So Wayland Aparicio, what a name, by the way. Also, I didn't do the draft last year. I let the CPU do it. Look who they picked up for me. I feel like I should probably let the CPU handle the draft moving forward, just because I feel like they definitely know what they're doing, and clearly I don't. I don't think I've ever picked up Cano, so let's go pick up Cano and see if we can make this work. All right, so Jimenez gets me closer, and then let's see what like kind of extras I have. Wallner gets me pretty close to getting the job done, and then let's slide up here and give them Richie Lund. There we go. We've got Cano in the team now. And then the other guy I wanted to get rid of was Barlow because he stinks. He's been terrible for us, and we need better. So let's go out and find us. Brian Abreu is kind of tempting. Let's see who else. Let's go. I feel like every time I get Michael King, he lets me down a lot. So who else could we get? They're really not too much, right? Like I feel like we just kind of ran through the entire league, and pitching just looked really, really thin. So I guess do we go like Felix Bautista? But let's go out and get. Do I need another lefty? I don't think I need because I've got Suarez. We've got Cano who can be the setup guy there. Yeah, just like another really good righty. I feel like that's what we need. But I guess let's just go Michael King, and hopefully he doesn't let me down. Michael King might be a little bit too hard to acquire. So let's go for someone that can just hold their rating. Matt Brash, not somebody I want. I just feel like he's gonna let me down big time. Maybe Swanson for a season, or do I stick it out with Barlow? I feel like we're gonna, you know what? I'm gonna give Barlow to the deadline. I know he hasn't filled us up with much confidence, but there's a chance he might be able to do something this year. So Cano, there it is. We're gonna rock with this. Suarez, I need the lefty. I feel like he's gonna get the job done. This is the team. This is the team. Budget-wise, you're probably like, how is this going to work? I've got 14 mil, and it might not work moving forward, but we're looking pretty good in season 4. We're ranked 3rd. Let's see how it goes. So at the deadline, I probably should make a trade for a pitcher just because of look what's going on here. 4, 4, 4, 5, 6. Probably should make a pitcher trade. But we do have a couple guys. Like I'm going to probably give Jacob Miller another shot just because he was pretty good. I could go Teddy Clark, the guy we drafted, but I'm not going to. I'm going to go Jacob Miller. But I wanted to show you this game. We won 21-8, and I feel like that wasn't like 13-4. Like our offense is moving like crazy. I feel like we're actually doing pretty well. Like 13-1 against the Nationals. We've got a 19-0 against the Mariners. Like we're cruising offensively. I kind of want to see where we rank. Best batting average, second most runs behind the Braves, where we know their team's insane. So I feel like we should probably make a move for a pitcher, but like I don't want to break up the team because we're doing so well. So what I'm going to do is Sixto was a failed experiment, probably what's going to happen in real life as well. No hate to Sixto, it's just, you know, that looks like it's going to be the situation. But that's going to be the team. I feel like we're doing well. Like we probably could be doing better, but at the same time, we're flying. I don't want to mess it up. So we won the division, and I've been talking about the Braves being really, really good. It was actually the Phillies who gave us a run for our money. Look at 101, 95 wins for the Braves. Like this was a tight race. 92 wins for the Reds, who don't even have Ellie De La Cruz in their team. League leaders Alcantara popped off, and then Arraez, batting average and hits. And then if we take a look at awards, AJ Puck along with Luis Arraez, that was it. Brian Reynolds is with the Phillies now. Oh, okay. Aaron Judge wins MVP on the other side. Nolan Gorman with the Red Sox. Gilbert Lodolo winning Cy Young. I'm telling you, there were so many trades in this rebuild. It was so hard to keep up with where every player was, and it was tough. It was tough. Jared Schuster wins Rookie of the Year along with Garrett Poe of the Twins. Okay, so let's take a look here. Looks like they called back Sixto. So who did they send down? They sent down Duran again, who just didn't really do. That's not a bad season though. That's not a bad season. So I feel like they kind of screwed him there. Michael Busch also got sent down, who again didn't have a bad years, and they called up Joe Mack instead. So I'm gonna fix that really quick, and let's talk about the year. Jacob Miller, fantastic for us. Similar amount of innings, did a better job. Love to see it. Lucas Sims, not as good as last year, but still, we can work with that. Suarez, love it, love it, love it. Barlow, there we go. That's what I was looking for this whole time. We just had to be a little patient. Lopez was still very good. Cano was almost like perfect. It's crazy. And then AJ Puck kind of right behind him did really well. So Alcantara, crazy good year. Trevor Rogers kind of just doing the same thing, but he, you know what? He got the job done. Luzardo got the job done. Cabrera got the job done. And Yuri Perez somehow got the job done. So somehow, even with this type of pitching staff, mostly the rotation, we still were one of the best teams in baseball. If not the best team in baseball, we were the best team in baseball. Actually, the two best teams in baseball, record-wise, were in the same division, which is kind of crazy to think about. Quickly taking a look at the rankings, we did fall to fourth batting average-wise, but actually third runs-wise as well. Let's quickly take a look at like where we were, like ERA / like runs. We were sixth, so the bullpen definitely kind of carried that part of the pitching staff. So let's get Duran back in the lineup. Bush, like I said, you know what? I'll take this. He was a decent bench bat this season. Ramirez, small amount of at bats, but was crazy good. Yikes. And then Jacob Berry was not as good as he was last year, but you know what? I like to see what he did. And then, Brian De La Cruz had his best season by far. Looking at our starting lineup, 19 home runs for Arraez. Where's this power coming from? That is a crazy year. Willie Adames, you know what? It's not amazing, but it's good enough to get the job done. I feel like I'm saying that a lot. A lot of just getting the job done, and I feel like that's what we needed. We just needed good enough players to win us games. We had Vladdy pop off. We had Will Smith have a good season. Jesus Sanchez continued to just do really okay. Like, I feel like we're really league average for a lot of players, except for Kenny Walsh, who was like, you know what, I'm going to have a crazy good year. So that's good to see. Kierstead cooled off quite a bit compared to his previous 2 years. Duran had a good year, and then back to Arraez. So offensively, how are we so good? I feel like offensively and pitching wise, that's not a 101 win team, right? Like, what? Let's see here. Maybe like where did we rank like home run wise? Because we saw where we were run wise. We were third, which is good to see, right? But like home runs, we were third. Okay, so that's gonna bring in some runs. A lot of RBIs. Let me double check like on base percentage. 350, 360, 380, 330. Okay, so we were getting on base. Okay. So that's where the runs, we were just getting on base and we were getting the runs in when they were out there. Okay, that's good to see. And the bullpen held things down. That's good. All right, so we're taking on the Braves. Let's see how we do against them. It says we don't have 4 lineups. We do. We're going to win anyways. Boom, we sweep them. Next up, the Cubs. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to, sorry, Yuri. We're going to rock like that. Let me see what they did with the lineup, see if they changed anything here. No, that's kind of what I was hoping for. So yeah, against the Braves, we saw their lineup. Let's take the Cubs because the Cubs were a World Series team last year. Yoshida, oh, okay. And Outman, Morel Suzuki, Benintendi. Okay, what's the pitching looking like? Whitlock, Steele, Bieber. Oh, that's just like a brand new team. No wonder why they're so good. Okay, Cabrera. Alcantara gets the win. Rogers, oh man, a little sweep action. And we're going to the World Series to take on the Guardians. Okay. What are the Guardians looking like? Peraza, Straw. Oh, they made some moves. Quantrill, McKenzie, Marquez, Savale. Yeah, their pitching's always really good. And with Clase and Duran, no one's scoring a run if they have the lead. So this is going to be tough. They beat the Rays. They beat the Red Sox. Okay. I mean, we've done pretty well. Swept the Braves, swept the Cubs. I feel like we should win this one. All right, Yuri Perez. Do I want Yuri starting the World Series? You know what? I feel good about it. Let's do it. 8-1. There we go. And we win the second one. Ooh, we lose the third with Alcantara, but Rogers, we're going to go 3-1. There it is. And game 4, boom, we lose. Yuri wins it anyways. There we go. Yuri winning 2 World Series games for us. The award for MVP goes to Vlad Jr. and playoff MVP Will Smith, our 2 offseason acquisitions. Love to see it. Look at Trevor Rogers. Have I been calling him Taylor Rogers this entire rebuild? I feel like I have. Trevor Rogers. Look at that's a crazy postseason. Luzardo, Yuri came in, gave us 2 games, got the job done. Cabrera was good. Alcantara, crazy good. So from our top 2 pitchers, lights out all postseason. And then look at the bullpen. Suarez did struggle, so that's not good. Oh, our bullpen was kind of bad. Holy cow, our bullpen was terrible. But look at the offense. Arise, not Adames. Jazz, there we go. Vladdy, yep. Will Smith, Jesus Sanchez, Walsh. Okay. So you know what? The heart of the lineup got the job done. Look at that. Look at that. That is beautiful. And like I said, there's always one guy in the team that is that underrated, that unsung hero. Jesus Sanchez was it. He wasn't like spectacular by any means, but I'll take it. I'll take it for sure. He got the job done. And I felt like I said that way too much this rebuild. So that's the Marlins rebuild. Yes, I had to completely blow up this offensive side of things. We kept the rotation the same the entire rebuild, which I don't think we've ever done. But there it is. I hope you enjoyed the rebuild. Thumbs up if you did. And I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.